Okay, when, where, why, and how did you lose your virginity?
Oh, fuck. I'm still a virgin.
As you can tell from my posture, I'm having a good night. I'm having a real good night. I'm having some probiotic soda. I will not show you the cover because they have not paid me. I've been doing well. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Asif Ali. I'm an actor and a comedian. You may have seen me on such programs as Shrinking on Apple TV, WandaVision, The Marvel Show. I will be on Agatha, which will be out in September, which is another Marvel show. I'll also be on a new show called Deli Boys, which will be out in January on Hulu. This episode is a real good one. If you've seen the previous ones, if you haven't, please do. They're great. I talked to some of my favorite comedic actors and performers, and some of them I've worked with before, some of them I haven't. This guy, Will Greenberg, is one of my favorites. He's one of the funniest working actors in Hollywood. You may have seen him on After Party on Apple. You may have seen him on the show that I was on, Wrecked, Miracle Workers, Halt and Catch Fire. He was also on my favorite horror movie of the past 2 years, Barbarian, which is on Max. Go see it if you haven't. It's incredible. In this episode, we talk about everything. It gets derailed. I had a whole set of things we were going to talk about. It got derailed, but in the best way. We ended up talking about acting, about his family, parts of his family being in the Civil War, him being in a theater festival, someone he knows doing blackface, and we even get a special guest at the end of the episode, and it changes everything in the best way. So I'm very excited and pumped for you to see this episode. Enjoy! Will Greenberg.
I'm invisible.
No, don't do that to yourself.
You can walk around. Here's the problem.
When you walk around to a coffee shop, women don't leer at you like they used to?
No, because I also have a child.
They don't grab at you anymore?
And a wedding ring, and they're like, interestingly enough, just went to Houston for a couple days. The older women there were looking at me.
See? Because you know how they say it's like 5 p.m., 5 o'clock somewhere? You're young somewhere.
In Houston.
And you're at home in Texas. You went home to go see your family?
Just my father.
Is he still painting? Your father's a renowned painter.
Yes.
And he paints what?
Landscapes.
Landscapes, that's right.
Christian landscapes.
And when you say he paints a Christian landscape, by the way, he is an actual painter. When you say Christian landscape, we're talking about no buildings, just a field.
No. Any kind of landscape, you just have to put a Christian...
A cross somewhere.
No crosses, just a little, you write a little psalm, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Matthew,
you put like a Stone Cold, this is the only part of the Bible I know, Stone Cold 3:16. You put that in the corner. Yeah. Now that painting is fully a Christian painting.
Yeah.
That's not a bad market.
No.
I should start doing that when I do stand-up. In the bottom corner of my special, I'll just put Matthew 37:8. And by the way, that's the guy's dimensions.
Correct.
Yeah.
His length and his girth.
Okay, now famously we shot Wrecked in Puerto Rico and then in Fiji. Yep. Now in Puerto Rico, we had the greatest boys trip of all time. We went to Culebra. Look at this. You don't make a noise like that if it wasn't the best time.
It was blessed.
Yeah, we
freaking
little golf carts.
I had a cigar in my mouth the entire time.
So fun.
And then when we got to the beach,
tiny plane, by the way. Getting there.
Very scary. I think we walked straight into a plane. And we're like, Culebra? And they were like, sure.
They're like, okay, it was like a 30-minute flight, maybe?
Oh, and I smuggled in some weed.
He smuggled in weed.
We were worried it was going to go through security, and security was, how much do you weigh? Get on the scale.
That's all they cared about. And the pilot looked like he was as confident about flying as I would have been, and I have never taken a flight lesson in my life.
What do you do
He was
first?
Googling how to land in Spanish as we were flying.
And we were still like, hell yes. We tried to order breakfast, and that caused the person we ordered from to just quit right then and there.
Oh, right. We went to this little market, and we were like, hey, can we order breakfast? And the guy was like, okay.
That right there. What is that, oatmeal?
He goes, okay. And then he walked out of the back of the store, and he just never came back. That is so true.
What happened?
And we were standing there for like half an hour. People were coming in and out, and we're like, what happened to the oatmeal guy? And they're like, oh, yeah, that guy left.
He just left.
So he just said,
couldn't handle that
okay.
pressure.
He said, okay. Got in a car, went home. Which I think more people should do in retail situations. When you're clocking out, just say, take that order, leave.
Well, he knew what he had done to that porridge. And
Oh, yeah.
if he had given it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he knew the lawsuit
like
that was coming.
When he was going to kill him with the apple, and he's like, bad apple or something. Bad date.
So you grew up in Houston?
Nice segue. Yeah,
You grew up in Houston, and why Houston?
Why did I choose to grow up where my family
Who decided, your mother or your father, to grow up in Houston?
Oh, well, we're sixth generation.
Six?
Texans, yes. My mother's great-grandfather, he fought in the Civil War.
Holy shit.
Little French
you
kid.
never told me this?
Yeah.
On what side?
The bad side, the Confederate.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was 14 years old. He came over with his two brothers. And,
wow.
They were like 15 and 16. They had arrived in New Orleans.
And they're like, you got to fight on this?
And it was a year later. And they're like, well, we live here now. Okay.
Damn, at 14?
Never asked what it was about.
They're like, hey, we're all going to do this thing.
I'm like, well, yeah, we do need the slaves, right?
And they're like,
like,
I guess. Holy shit.
Yeah, so we got the Louisiana, and then my dad's side, I think we're fifth generation, his side, and they just came over from Russia or Poland, and they didn't want to stay in Chicago or wherever the hell every other Russian and Poland was. And they said, what is the last ticket?
Yeah.
Where does it go on the train? They said, Fort Stockton, Texas, just like in Shawshank.
Wow. What were they doing for work in Texas when they got there?
That's a good question.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
You think farming, maybe?
Well, they bought some land. There was oil on it. Everybody got. Yeah, it was great.
Because back then, it was like
Texas,
Saudi. It's like there was just oil everywhere.
So bought a little land, had oil on it. Then they opened a department store. Yeah, it was just 3 floors of just maybe some home goods.
So you really left a dynasty to come live in LA?
No, they blew it.
How did they blow it?
During the Depression, I think. It just got gobbled up.
Oh, no. Okay, so you never feel like a Game of Thrones character where you're like, I want to go back and retake what is Dine's name's property?
I just went back to Houston. And the heat. My father's a lunatic, and
my dad lives in Arizona, 120.
Yes.
He's like, send me back home.
Exactly.
Where I can roast.
Roast.
Yeah,
right.
he's charbroiled, my father.
He's a delicious man.
There is heat brain.
He and my father should be studied in laboratories.
What happens to your brain is it no longer is a solid up there. It's sort of you're just in a goopy.
Yeah, it's like a gas.
Kind of thing.
It's like a light bulb that gets a little condensation in it.
When my dad comes here, he's like, I hate this. Because I think there's just something about things being pleasant, like he has nothing to fight against. And then you send him over there, and there's just like a real enemy there. He's inside.
Oh, yeah.
He's making his weird food.
Is he confused when he goes outside and he's like, it's so hot. I can't, I don't feel good.
It also gives him an excuse because my dad's like almost 80 now. And so when you're 80, what you do as a person when you're fully retired and you used to be like the sort of iron, the Iron Man of the Iron Claw. When you used to be the Zac Efron of your family, and then you lose that because now my mom is younger and has like the strength. My brother's ripped, and so my other brother has kids and stuff, and so you've lost the sort of that thing. So then you go, I have work to do. He's always saying I have work to do. Let me go back home. I have work to do. Sure. And then you go visit him, and I'm like, what did you do today? And he's like, oh, I pulled up 4 weeds. Yeah. But the reason why he loves Arizona is because it's so hot. He goes, I can only do my work from like, 8 p.m. to like 8:25 p.m.
Oh, he does it late at night. See, my father will go out of noon.
Oh, no. My father can't do it.
Pass out.
Oh, that's psychotic.
Yes. And I'll say, well, here's the deal, Jerry. You can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
No one can.
And does he wear like a big hat when he gets up?
No hat.
Okay, so he's just testing the limits of his own body.
He wants to move on. Pretty much.
It's his way of an assisted sort of.
Yes. He's reading Michael Crichton books because, they're the best. And he's trying to just kill himself by gardening.
Okay, so what did your parents want you to do?
As a
child, yeah.
They were terrified because I was showing
what were you displaying
at anything.
So
just
you weren't
smartass.
So you weren't getting good grades?
I once got, I think, a 50-something in a class. because I just was not doing anything and lying to them, telling them I was doing it. You have to check.
No.
You got to check. I might have even been making fake documents or filling out the questions, but just with gibberish. And they were like, good job.
Holy shit.
It was all about making people laugh in class. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
It's a raccoon.
You were lying to your parents and to the school about your education.
Yes.
Were you good at sports?
Not really.
Okay, so you were in Texas.
I mean, enough to play them.
You weren't like Friday Night Lightsing it, where they're like, let's give him a pass. I know he can't read, but he can, by God, can he throw a football?
No. Small hands.
Okay, so you had little tiny small hands.
Yeah.
And so we weren't doing good at school. We weren't great at sports. We were playing sports. We weren't great at them.
Great at the sports that, weren't school-sponsored. Hacky sack.
Okay. The subculture sports you were doing.
Yeah, I can throw a frisbee.
Yeah. Okay. And then
it's on a laser.
And then but then you were funny.
Always funny.
So then how did we then get into, what were your siblings doing?
Camille, my sister, has a master's in business. She writes business plans.
And she's older?
She's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm DeVito.
Oh,
even though we're not
okay.
twins,
Uh-huh.
but that's the genetic difference.
So your parents saw her and they're like, we're going to put all of our hopes of continuing the family name and respectability on Camille.
Yes, Will is a wash.
And then Will is just, hey, we gave it a shot.
We'll be taking care of him for the rest of his life.
Yes. At best, might be maybe, doing handyman stuff on TaskRabbit.
Probably not. Didn't think I could do that.
Not even that.
No.
Might be a fun guy outside of a bar. That will check IDs maybe.
Yeah.
He doesn't really check them, but he's a good vibe.
I won't check them. I'll let you in. The bar will be shut down.
Yeah.
I'll lose that job.
You're the guy that can, if you need a loose cigarette, we know who to ask.
But I will charge you 10 cents for it.
So then how did
a beer.
How did we get into acting then?
Junior year in high school, they were doing a comedy. Neil Simon.
Uh-huh.
Rumors.
The plays Rumors by Neil Simon. And here's the thing about this podcast. Everybody who's going to watch this, huge Neil Simon Rumors fan. Mm-hmm. They all know exactly what this is.
Of course.
What's the play about?
The play is about a dinner party that goes awry. People's relationships explode, and then there's somebody's hit over the head. I can't quite remember, Asif.
Because were you high?
I had a huge monologue. I was high most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a huge monologue.
And you nailed it.
And the police were there. I don't remember what I'm trying to explain.
The police were in the play, or the police showed up?
In the play.
Okay.
Now, this is, at my high school, we also did a production of Big River, where, since we didn't have any black actors, my friend Brandon Barash, who's on a soap opera now, General Hospital, he shaved his head and painted himself black.
Okay, your friend did blackface?
Black body.
He did the whole body?
The entire body. And head shaving. The local
he went full
news
Avatar.
Did come.
So Rachel Dolezal could only dream of going this far into character.
Yes.
My God.
No one stopped him.
No one stopped him. No one even said anything.
No.
Because they were like, what do you want us to do?
Right.
And this was the 90s.
You're correct.
Yeah.
96.
The last time you could get away with pulling a Trudeau.
Yeah, people don't. I mean, people enjoy my Denzel, but it's
you can't.
It's counterculture.
It's a great Denzel. For those of you who don't know, he does an incredible Denzel. It's an incredible. I mean, you can do it, but you don't. You can't look it.
Right.
But if this was 1994, yeah.
Here we go. All right. Denzel's in the house. There he is. Boom. I'm white. Underneath this black.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Denzel Washington would do a movie where he was playing a white guy?
100%.
At this point, he's done 3 Equalizers. He's probably had.
If he's allowed to do the Equalizer and beat up all those people,
at a 65-year-old,
in a chair,
mostly in a chair. We're in Seagal
Joe
level.
Joe Biden can still be president. He can be president from his bed.
Okay, when, where, why, and how did you lose your virginity?
Oh, fuck. I'm still a virgin.
Yeah, and that's another thing about this podcast. I am,
Tell you
and I
everything,
only interview people who are virgin. Okay, butterfly in the sky, and we also encourage reading
I
Rainbow.
Was in college, freshman year.
Okay, and it was the greatest time of your life.
Yes,
do you think
the
doing?
girl
Do you
literally
yeah.
said, "I'm very attracted to you. I don't know what to do about it." I go, "I know what to do."
Can I tell you something? No woman has ever said that to me.
It's
Then
the last time it ever happened.
it's the last time that ever happened, and by God,
yeah.
at least you took advantage of it.
Exactly.
Good for you.
At least I wasn't scared.
I would have been so. I was so Muslim.
Yeah.
A woman could have walked up to me and been like, "Anything you want," and I would have been like, "I need to ask my parents first."
Exactly. Here's the deal. I think I had newfound confidence because I shaved my butt. It was a plucker.
A plucker.
It was like a row of pluckers.
Oh shit! Like those things they use in farms to like pull up the.
And
Wow.
I had to put a stick in my mouth because it was so painful. Clenched down. I was
But-
giving birth.
Holy shit! But then
I
afterwards,
had
you were a
bare
new man,
ass. Yeah,
and you're
got
like,
rid of it.
"Let's go."
And I was like, I don't care. I could be naked with you now.
And did you, when you got to college, did you do theater?
What are you talking about? I got a BFA in acting.
Holy shit!
From
And I apologize.
University of Southern California.
And you are a consummate actor. You are a locals only actor.
I thought I was the next Marlon Brando.
And hey, we still have time. And I actually want to ask you a question. How many more years do you think we have left as actors in this town?
Actors?
Yeah.
I'm been made redundant.
Come on.
I don't have. They called me to be in the Deli Boys, but then they were like, "Oh, he can't. He went to that high school.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
weird if he does it now. We could get Brandon from General Hospital to go one shade lighter.
Okay, not to be a gossip queen, but were there any people that you went to school with that turned out to be like people who are working actors now?
Yes, me. Well, I was.
Yes, of course.
Robert Baker.
Bake Show himself. Yes.
And Brendan Barash.
Brendan Barash.
Who's been on General Hospital for God knows how long now, and he's richer than all of us.
And you famously also went to theater camp with Chris Pine.
That was right after, yeah.
What was his acting camp? I never really understood
the
what that was.
Williamstown Theater Festival. It's not an acting camp.
Okay, again, I apologize. I feel like
isn't this for Backstage?
this is for Zillow.com. We're actually selling your house. You have been in foreclosure for about 3 months. You don't know that, but and it does have a beautiful pool, and
you can rent it on Swimly.
Oh, it's like Uber for pools.
It's real.
Is it really?
Yes. The problem is they have to let people use your bathroom or provide
You're crazy.
a bathroom.
This is a real thing. I can rent your pool right now.
Yeah.
For
but
how
I'm
much?
like, bring a camping toilet.
How much money does it cost?
$200 an hour.
That's insane. You know how many laps I have to do to make that worth it?
That's not a lap pool.
So I just have to sit in it? Holy shit.
You get blown by the side of it. All right?
Okay,
You
now
bring
that
a
I'm talking.
chick here.
So it's a place to bring an escort.
Getting back to that virginity story. Yes.
Swimly, a place for escorts. Is that the tagline for the app?
Probably. Swimly. Need to shoot an adult scene? Have an OnlyFans account?
Just make sure the pool is near like a Chipotle or something so you can use
You don't
the
care if children watch you from upstairs. It's only $200.
Okay, this
Williamstown.
Williamstown.
Yep.
What's the name of it? The
Williamstown Theater Festival.
Theater Festival.
I saw in People magazine.
Yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow went there, amongst others like Sam Rockwell.
Wow.
And that's all I needed to see or hear to know I'd become famous if I went there.
And you met Pine there?
Yes.
And where was he also from Texas?
No, he's from here. He's third generation Hollywood. His grandmother was
good for him.
In the studio system, whatever
Yeah.
contract. She was
he told me
movie.
on Don't Worry Dawn, he told me his dad
was chief of police on Chips.
and was like his grandfather was like you got a contract with a studio.
Yeah.
And he was the horse guy. Like a cowboy horse guy. Like he knew how to ride a horse and do stunts and he also
He jerked him off.
And what was the energy at this festival? Was was everyone like, we're all going to be famous?
Yes. You had to, but we were all apprentices. You had to pay to be an apprentice. Basically, that's the scam.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. You paid for your room and board, and then you did all the work and built all the sets and populated these huge cast shows that they can't afford to do anymore from the 20s or whatever.
Sure.
And these old people come and see them.
How many plays were you in?
I think I was in three of the big productions, and then like 5 of the assistant directors. We all did. It was constant work.
Yeah.
You were constantly learning lines, and then forgetting them because you had an STD.
Yes.
But everyone was hooking up with each other, so it didn't
okay,
matter.
so it was like the Olympic Village.
But the
everybody was
story
going
I
there.
wanted to get to was right when we got there.
Yeah.
They said the 75 apprentices, you all need to audition in front of each other in this theater for the assistant director's shows.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so, being the cockiest guy in the world that I am, I was like, let's
let
do
it rip.
this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a monologue about how I come every day, Eric Bogosian.
And that was your monologue that you picked?
Hey,
Hi!
speaking of.
No,
Get
of course
in
it
here,
is.
Peach. Come here.
Hi, Peach. How are you?
Come over here.
I know. It's
And
so
Nikki.
beautiful. How are you?
Wow.
Good to see you. So good. That's Amjad. This is Nikki. Ah,
This is Asif.
we met before. Peach, how are you? You're good? What'd you do today? Did you do anything fun today? Any fun animals or games or colors or?
Yeah, what'd you tell me you did? That was so cool.
Did you eat anything good?
Come on.
Oh, come on, Peach.
Come on, Peach.
What about yoga?
Did you do yoga?
Said they did
Yeah.
yoga.
You didn't invite me to yoga? How was it? It was fun? Peach, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one question. Who is your favorite person in class right now? Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Who's your favorite person
Who's your
in?
best friend?
Who's your best friend right now? Because best friends are fluid, you know.
There's a bunch, actually.
Who's one of your best friends right now?
Song.
Saul.
Saul, better call.
Better call Saul.
Yep.
And how old is Saul?
I think it's 4.
He's 4 years old. And what's so fun about him? What's so cool about him?
He plays Transformers.
Oh, that's cool. You love Transformers? Peach, you're so cool.
I know.
You know Transformers already? That's so cool. Are you excited about your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good. Are you so? Does Saul have a pool?
No.
I mean, that's pretty cool that you have a pool. Has Saul ever come over and swim in your pool?
Sometimes.
No, only
No.
Milo.
Only Milo. Is Milo your other friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Peach, do you have plans for the summer?
Where are we going?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna go anywhere?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
To gymnastics.
You do gymnastics? Peach, I'm so proud of you. We're all so proud of you. You know? Whoa, 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 whoa. We can use that in court. I'll cut that little clip of.
Just trying to get a laugh.
Yeah.
You having a laugh?
Don't even think about it, you guys.
Can you do some of your catchphrases?
Oh
Will you
my
do your
God.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on, go watch your show.
Oh my God, Pete, you are so funny, and it's very apparent that you could only be the child of these two people.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye. See you soon. Good to see you. Okay. So finish your story. Okay, so it was nuts at this theater festival,
You had to audition in
You had
front
to
of
audition-
75 people.
and your
I
monologue
did
was
that
X-rated.
thing, and then Pine did Hamlet.
Okay, so he went full Pine. He was like, "Hey, I am going to be famous."
Yes. And then after it, we just game recognizes game, and we were like, "You're good," and he goes, "You're good," and I was like, "We friends?" And he goes, "Yep." And that was it.
And that was it. And you guys have been pals for.
We were roommates after that for 2 years here back in L.A.
Oh, kind of
You
living
remember
like
that, Peach?
like an episode of Entourage.
Yes, we would just be hungover watching Real World, crying and bickering whenever we went out to dinner.
Have you guys ever auditioned for the same thing? Have you and Chris Pine ever auditioned for the same job?
I'm trying to think. No.
Because I remember me and Hassan auditioned for a thing that was really funny. That was like, it was dumb. It was like hosting like this really trashy like MTV game show. Oh, it was called Talent Cage. This is real. I have the actual breakdown framed in my apartment on the wall because it's the worst thing I've ever auditioned for. It's called Talent Cage. Basically what it was, Peach, the show was called Talent Cage, and I would host it, and I would have people come and do a talent, like if you were singing or somebody was like dancing or playing music, and everybody in the audience, you'd be like in kind of like a chain link fence kind of thing, like the Octagon, and everybody in the audience had like little beep things, and if everybody hated what you're doing, like over 70% of the people hated what you're doing, with the yes or no kind of thing, like the America's Got Talent thing, but everybody in the audience did it, then they would have buckets of like rotten fruit that then they would throw at the performer.
You'd love that.
And
no,
then
I won't.
And then that was it. And then that's how you would know you're not moving on.
And then I'm gonna grab a bucket and throw it at them.
And that's what I wanted to do, Peach, because I felt that was a rude thing to do to the people who were performing. But MTV said, "Do you want this job or not?" And so me and Hassan auditioned for that same thing. And now looking back on it, it's like, why would we ever audition for the same things? He has a Peabody now, and he auditioned for Talent Cage with me.
Don't even think about it.
Now, Will, we do comedic acting, okay? Why do you think people don't respect us enough to let us do dramatic acting?
Because it's not fair that comedic actors can do both. I don't know. Because they think you're going to make it funny.
Also, why do you think people don't? Why do you think people don't respect comedy? Why isn't there no comedy section at the Oscars?
They think it's easy. I don't know. I really don't.
Aw, is it a big one, PG?
Where? Oh God.
Okay, let me ask you this: most fun you've ever had on set?
The most fun I ever had on set. Oh God. Was it's either some shenanigans on Wrecked, probably when I watched a stunt guy light himself on fire.
Oh,
And throw
right.
himself out of a window. I could
Yes.
not believe I was part of something.
He lit
where they
himself
could
on fire and
pay
jumped.
a human to do that.
Yeah. And the least fun?
The least one was shooting the after party and having to fake DJ for 12 hours.
You had to fake DJ for
Several
12
days.
hours?
Yes.
And were you just like air touching?
I told them I wasn't going to do anything. I was like,
You were just standing there.
you can't see me. Your camera's over there, and it's a close-up. I should be in my trailer.
Why didn't they just get a stand-in?
attitude. Exactly.
They didn't want to.
They were under the gun. Everyone had COVID.
And you brought it.
I don't know who this little girl is.
Yeah, we actually
This is
don't
a
know
weird
who this
part
woman
of the
is.
podcast.
Now, Peachy, how old are you? You said you were 4 years old?
4.
Okay, now, Will, I got to ask you a question. Now, you're a father of 2 beautiful children. One is asleep. One is fully awake, as you can see. What do you think about Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, well into their 80s, having children? What do you think about that? And why do you think it's such a good idea?
It's a great
Because to me, it feels like a hot potato, like you're it,
Exactly.
and then they die.
The good part of it is you get this fun little part, and then you don't have to go through them becoming sexually active.
You think that was the move of like, I don't want to wait until you're a teenager and you start mouthing off to me?
Yeah, well,
I'm going to be in heaven
now.
with Brando.
They do that now, but it's mostly funny.
It's mostly funny and cute.
But they're that's incredibly irresponsible. I think that's really sad.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when should I have a kid?
That's amazing.
What do you think?
You need to have one as soon as possible.
ASAP. I need
I
to do
don't
it.
remember how old you are. You're younger than me.
I'm younger than you. I'm 24.
You might be.
I might be, dude. The amount of testosterone shots I'm getting on the black market, dude. You can order them on Temu.
Just some pig hormones.
And what is the secret to keeping the women in your life happy?
The secret is using patchouli scented products.
Just around the house.
On my body. Don't even think about it.
Now, we've both been working in this business for a really long time. We both did 2 pilots together.
It's true.
The first one,
I thought we did 3.
well,
Oh,
Wrecked
2 then
included.
Wrecked. Okay.
So the first one, I must say, is the funniest one. In the sense,
Oh, it is. Brave New World.
Brave New World, We played two people working at a historical reenactment facility.
that.
By the way, that's hilarious. We played people working at a historical reenactment
With
camp
Cousin
or whatever.
Greg, yes.
And cousin Greg was in it from Succession, and I played an Indian person playing a Native American.
Yes.
So we've all done things that are cancelable.
That was my...
What a fun time. Now, last
All right,
question.
Yeah.
Last
We
question.
gotta wrap it up.
We have to wrap it up
This is...
per Peach's orders. Two more questions. Sorry. Can I just do two? Just two? Okay, so last question, second to last, is imposter syndrome. A lot of the people I watch get imposter syndrome. Have you ever had that before, or were you the most confident person that's ever existed?
Yeah, I've never experienced imposter syndrome. Never once.
Unbelievable personal attack on this. Not only are you living in a house, which already maybe 3 people do in LA,
Yeah.
you have 2 beautiful children,
Yeah.
one of which is now an executive producer on this podcast.
I might feel as an imposter as a father, yeah.
Oh, really?
As a responsible adult
Yeah.
who can take care of these creatures.
Okay, now we're going to do the last part. Okay, that's fair. I have it sometimes.
And I have a brother. And I have a baby brother.
You do have a baby brother. Where is he? Can you...
He's taking a nap. Heads up.
He's napping his life away.
He's napping his
All
life
right,
away.
Get this
Okay,
last
this is the last
question
one.
in.
This is the last one. Okay, we have to lean in for this one. This is the last one. Now, at the end of each one of these, pods, what we do
Squeeze me in.
is we do motivation. It's fake motivation. Basically, we improvise. We put music underneath it.
Yeah.
My brother just gives us a random word,
Okay.
and then we improvise a motivational speech for the people who are watching this to leave them on a note of, just pure adrenaline so they can go out
Yes.
and crush
Yep.
their day. Okay, Amjad. So any word.
Get your pants down and make a baby.
Get your pants down, because in life, if your pants are up, in life we spend a lot of time with our
If you
pants
can do
up,
it through the pants,
through the pants, zip it down, because
do that.
in life you need to find places to take your pants off.
Rent my pool.
Rent his pool
Make a baby.
and swim.
Not only can you make a baby here, you can give birth.
You can do a water
I've
birth.
got what's called a Baja step.
Uh-huh.
Great place.
And that's what we, because your dreams are much like your belt on your pants, and you need to find a way, because what's in those pants is what you actually want to do in your life. But society's telling you to keep those pants zipped up and locked down. So what you need to do is actually follow your own dreams and unbuckle, unzip, and unveil your actual true self and hop in that pool. That way then you can emerge the person that you've always wanted to be and the person who you've always deserved to become. And that's the kind of energy we want to give to you. And the pool is $200 an hour.
That's it. You can shit in the
And so
garden.
you can do whatever you want in your life, just like you can do whatever you want in the pool. You just have to be willing to pay the cost. Because in life, if you're willing to pay the cost, whether it is time, attention, dedication, and effort, and risk, you can do whatever you want. So pay the proverbial $200 now, because that will pay off in the future, because you'll be able to do whatever you want in your life.
Yeah.
That's persistence. That's determination. That's the future. And that's sweaty. You do have to get sweaty to accomplish your
sweaty.
dreams. And that's what life is all about. Will Greenberg, Peach, we love you. We thank you. Don't even say it. And that's a wrap, my guys. I love you.
We love you.
Peach, do you
Thanks for having me.
Peach, do you like podcasts?
Yeah.
Oh.
She does,
Okay, she just loves podcasts. Okay. Great. Love it. Amazing.
I think stand-up is what I do best. And
Sure.
also, Hollywood turned me into this. they turned me into a stand-up monster.
He goes in front of the Hollywood sign and he goes,
You did this to me! Like, I'm on stage. You think I want to be great at this? But
I
I'm
wanted
like,
to be a mediocre comedian, but I wanted to
Yeah.
be like on Euphoria.
I just wanted to host some CW stuff every so often. And the stand-up was a thing I did in between jobs.
You think I want to have these many tags in this joke?
Yeah.